and welcome back to RØDECaster User Meetup by Learner to Learner, a collaborative learning channel where we all come together the next hour and we're going to learn all things about RØDECasters. That includes the OG RØDECaster for a few more months, maybe, and then of course the RØDECaster Duo and RØDECaster Pro II, and sometimes RØDECaster Video if we have Aaron joining us. Because he's the only one that has it. Anyway, if you want to join the show, I see people. I see Shaka Nulu is in the chat room already. I will place this link and the instructions on how to participate in the show if you want to join the show and be participating and be on the panel. Feel free to do so. I'm going to show you how to do it. If you go to the website, as I pointed it out in the chat, go here and look for the link Call In with Zoom. Click on that. And once you click on that, it's going to bring you to a registration page. In the registration page, all you need to do is put your names, email address, consent to join the show. And optionally, if you have any question that you want to pre-ask, you can also do it there. And once you've done that, it will send a notification to me. Once I approve you, you will be able to get the link. It's a unique link just to you so that you can click on that link and be on the panel. Like my panelists here, we have, who do we have here? We have, for the first time joining us, Dr. Dan Spies. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to have you here. Finally, you got did it get filtered into your spam filter?
No, it just took it a while to get here. That's all.
Okay.
So we had finally arrived about a half hour after your note. So that's good.
Perfect. All right. Well, welcome. And we'll ask you a little bit more about your RØDECaster journey in a bit after we say hello to all the other guests. And we also have our usual suspect, Derek. Hello, Derek. Welcome back.
How's it going?
Good. I'm earlier you were sharing, before the show, you were sharing about your microphone on your typewriter setup over on the other side, but I didn't actually pull your picture up front at that time, so I'm checking it out right now, visually looking at your typewriter. Of course, we also have Matthew, my savior, last week teaching me how to process the hack that at Maestro was doing, that my brain, in fact, today I went back there and I look at some of the footage, and not intentionally, it just came up in my feed on my other channel when I was watching my YouTube, my personal channel, and I saw that clip and I went and it clicked around and it went to that part where Maestro is trying to explain how he does his the multi-track recording using his RØDECaster to isolate specific tracks so that he can record different tracks recorded as a multi-recording or separate recordings on his Ecamm. And my brain was melting, and then Matthew stepped in, and it still took a few tries, but then I finally got it. Anyway, so we're still in our third week of Ecamm October, I call it, because I've always wanted to dedicate that time to talk a little bit more and specifically about the usage between a RØDECaster and Ecamm Live. And so this week, we're finally here to talk about the Ecamm, my setup of Ecamm usage, and you guys can scrutinize me as much as you want, but like, why do you do this? But hopefully it's self-explanatory. It's been tested for over a year now, so it should be good. Welcome, Nee. Hello, Nee. You have a different setup this week. I like it.
I'm just moving around I'm doing a portable
your desk.
desk.
Oh, cool,
yeah,
cool. I love it.
Desk.
Please,
So,
every week
yeah,
comes with a different view for us.
Because I ain't got a life, man.
All right. Okay. So if you want to join, if you want to participate, feel free to use the chat and ask your questions, especially if you're a RØDECaster and Ecamm user and you want to share your thoughts. Feel free to use the chat, or let me know in the chat when you try to register And if I haven't approved you, I'll keep an eye on the registration page there. But if I don't do that, I will make sure that be sure to nudge me a little bit in the chat. And I see questions already coming in. All right. So, but before we go into the question and also sharing my personal usage of RØDECaster setup and Ecamm setup for RØDECaster, let's meet a new friend, Dan from Florida. And I want to find out a little bit about your journey into RØDECaster and why you interested in joining us tonight.
Well, I'm a longtime broadcaster,
Oh.
and I was using an analog mixer and some sound processing outboard equipment. And one of the outboard pieces that I liked was a DBX sound processor that finally died of old age. And I thought, I'm going to take a fly on this and see how the DBX inclusion in the RØDECaster would work as a replacement. And son of a gun, it does. I don't miss the big rack mount unit that I used to play with, so I'm using the RØDECaster Duo now as the primary interface and processor for some voice work that I do.
Wow! So you're see, Shaka said the radio voice. Love it. Yes, you can hear it. And so explain DBX. What is DBX?
Well, DBX actually is the technology that's inside the RØDECaster for audio processing. The expander unit inside that is made by or developed by DBX. And it used to be this analog box that a lot of radio and TV stations use to make the sound brighter and also to function as a bit of a processor. So the one I had was, I think, built in 1980 something.
It's a hardware box, right? I mean, it's a hardware.
Hardware
unit.
box in an equipment rack, and it died. And I thought maybe this is the time to try out the one in the RØDECaster. So I thought I'm going to take a little fly on it when I caught it on sale one day, and I don't miss the big box that did a few more things, but this does everything that I needed. So I'm very happy with that.
That's really cool.
Hey, John, I used to use that DBX. I don't know if you remember when I had the OG.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had bought one, and then also I was using a tube preamp. So I was going through the tube preamp into the DBX just to get that. The warmer the tube got, the better it sounded. Because you know how with the OG I couldn't figure how to get the noise gates and all those thing better. So then I ended up buying the DBX, which I think I can remember the company that does the DBX, but they've got a whole lot of slew of rack mounts that if you want that old school analog good sound, then you could use the DBX. So yeah.
So Dan,
and let me correct one more thing I said too, because what's actually in the RØDECaster is from a company called Aphex, but it's the same technology that was in the DBX. So
got it.
It works the same way.
So the big bottom and the auto exciter Aphex,
right? The compeller,
for sure. And so I'm curious, like when did you switch over? I mean, when did you actually start using a RØDECaster Duo?
About 2 months ago.
Oh, so fairly new.
Yeah.
So so your old mixer and all that died, and then did you spend some time researching, or have you been thinking about it?
I was researching it along the way, and then when the processor died, I decided to jettison the old analog mixer that I was using and just go ahead and convert to this and feed it all into audio software in my computer.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, I mean, maybe when you come back, hopefully you'll come back and join us more regularly in the future. Since we're still, I would say when you join us next year, because
No.
because we have one more week to go, And
Right.
then I'm taking 2 months of a 2 months long hiatus because I am traveling all month, November. And then December is typically very busy for everybody anyway. So I'll take that month off. And so we'll be coming back. In fact, if you go to the website, it's good to know if you've forgotten, like, oh, when is he coming back? I put it on the website, learnertolearner.com. Go there and then go to the main page and check out when I'm coming back. January 6th is when I'll be coming back. So, but hopefully you'll come back, and I want to know a little bit more, like your specific setup. And we always learn by learning about other people's setup, how you use things and how you set things up, and especially with your audio background, you probably have very good ears, and so how you tune your sound and all that, I think that will be a good thing for us to all learn from.
Okay.
And this week, however, we are still going to try to get to talking a little bit more about the usage between Ecamm and RØDECaster specifically. And I'm going to share my usage this week, and you guys can ask question anytime you're there. But let's say hello first to those that we didn't get to say hello to. Reggie. Hello, Reggie.
Not sure if you can hear me or
Yes,
not.
we can.
On my Windows PC today. And
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Just found where to get into the settings to turn on the sound for musicians and all that stuff.
Okay. On your Zoom. Original sound for musicians is important, especially if you want to not have Zoom do all the audio processing. Okay, so yeah, I just saw your notes too. Yeah, but yeah, you sounded good. And Glenn,
Kind of surprised this works actually. I had been using my MacBook for this for some reason. Maybe it's just a Riverside thing, but I can never seem to get my RØDECaster to work with Riverside on Windows.
Oh, but it works on Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was a little worried that I was going to run
Well,
into
but
the
is your
same
Zoom
issue, but
is your Zoom running as a standalone app, or is it from the web from the web browser?
standalone app?
Okay. Oh, but does Riverside have a standalone app too, or is it web based?
Only on the Mac.
Oh,
Only on the
okay,
Mac.
okay.
On Windows, for some reason, every time I try and use it, it says that it'll kind of fluctuate between saying that my audio and my video are already in use, even though I don't have anything else running. And
it's like it's already been used by a different app or something, so it won't let you assign to it. Okay.
Yeah, so I always use my Mac for my interviews.
Okay. Say hello to Glenn. Hello, Glenn.
Hey there, John. Hello there.
Hey,
everyone.
we can hear you loud and clear. and we're gonna be sure to talk about how do you paste your link to join the show.
I just want to be able to use Ecamm for Zoom in a real life situation.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. We'll definitely do that. We'll do that on Soundcheck. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go straight to the question that came in from Shaka. Shaka has been participating every week. I love it. And one of these days, maybe we'll see you on the show. Maybe next year. Okay, so has anyone with the RØDECaster or RØDECaster 2 or Duo, RØDECaster Pro II or Duo, ever tried resetting the smart pads back to factory setting? I have not. Has anybody done that?
From my understanding, you can only do that if you reset the whole thing.
So yeah, are you specifically talking about the smart pads only, or the reset, or are you wondering what it's like when you reset to factory setting? Will all the sounds still remain?
Yeah.
Will it bring the old sound that came with it on there onto it?
When you reset it, it clears out all the sound pads. However, when you import your show, then whatever sound pads you had configured, those all come back.
But let's say if you reset it up and you set it up as like a new show, will any of like the pre-installed sound come with it?
Yeah. When you reset it, all the like
all the sound effects
stuff comes
that came
back.
with. Okay. good to know. But not sure, Shaka, if that is exactly what you're looking for. So definitely let us know if there's something else that we're missing. Okay, all right. Okay, so now let's jump into it because we don't have too much time. I don't know what to do. How should I start? Okay. Okay, I guess I will just share my settings, right? I'm gonna go to this. So you're seeing my, I guess the easiest way to start is to start with the tabs, the various different tabs that I have set. So number one is probably audio. So I have my speakers set to RØDECaster Pro II main because I want everything that comes out from Ecamm to go into the RØDECaster Pro II main, which is USB 1, essentially, USB 1 main. Of course, if you have multi-track turned on, you'll see main multi-track. If you do not have that turned on, you'll see stereo. And then I do not have any echo cancellation turned on because I always want, if you don't need the processing of canceling out echo, it's there to help a lot of people who may not know how to route things. So if it is something that you know how to do to avoid getting like slapback, not echo, slapback, you shouldn't have to rely and depend on using any echo cancellation inside the Ecamm's audio tab. Okay, so let's go back to it. Oh wait, will it let me do? Why is live demo not? Oh no, what happened? Do you guys see it? Okay, I'm still there. Okay, all right. Here. Then capture system audio, I set it to never because I route my system audio to a specific channel on my RØDECaster, and that's why I don't have Ecamm capture my system audio because I get to control it. And I do not check this delay through testing. I have 5. We don't have to worry about that. That's not specifically to well, it kind of is, but the delay depends on your video connection and all that. So we're not going to go into that. This one I do have checked. Map input channel 1 and 2 to left and right. I do that. I didn't think it's going to have an impact on that, but you see, oh my gosh, is test. Okay. So the you guys probably do, maybe live stream will lose audio a little bit, but when you check that, what it does is so what that does is it's telling the especially when you have a multi-track mixer, external mixer connected to Ecamm, like this, when I have that selected, it's going to, as your microphone in here, when my microphone is selected as the RØDECaster Pro II main multi-track, it's important to have that checked because otherwise it is meshing up all the tracks, including the top 2 channels, channel 1 and 2. And what that does is it will turn your mix down channel is channel 1 and 2, and let's say my microphone is on channel 3. It will mix everything down. It doesn't just take the first 2 channel as your input from your RØDECaster. It takes everything. So my channel would be coming in twice because I'm in the main mix, left and right, and also channel 3. And then you guys would come in the main mix as well as the chat channel. So hence I make sure that I have that checked. Map input channels 1 and 2, left and right stereo. And in fact, in some instances, not in this particular situation, but in some instances when I connect it to my I have a different setup. Here on the floor, it's like the aftermath of a tornado. It's my portable setup. I'm setting audio and video setup for my trip into Asia, and I will be doing some shows there, and that's why that's my portable setup here. So this is my blueprint on the floor. And when I was testing that out, when I uncheck this, it takes I have a H6 what is it? The Zoom H6N? Is that what is the recorder? I have that recorder connected as the input source, like the microphone. And if I have that unchecked, it will take the source as mono. It does not take the source as stereo. But it doesn't do it to my RØDECaster for some reason. I'm not understanding why yet. And then we have this one. Uncheck, mute movie sound on speakers. I think all those are functionalities and features that is really helpful only to people without an external mixer. That's why I don't have that checked. And this is also very important. System output mix mode is very important. It says system output mix mode. What it does is it's actually telling Ecamm, don't use Ecamm as a mixer, because Ecamm is a mixer, as you can see here. And for my portable setup, I will be using it as a mixer, because this is your sound levels. This is essentially your mixer, like Maestro explained last time, right? Because he uses that as different tracks. And for me, because I use my RØDECaster as the mixer, I am not wanting Ecamm to do any mixing. So I check that system output mix mode. So it does warn you and says, use the setting only when the max audio output is being mixed back into the mic channel by your audio interface. Ecamm Live won't mix movie audio, sound effects, or guest audio for you. So if you have interview mode, using interview mode, all that, it's going to be not mixed in by Ecamm. You have to rely on your RØDECaster to do all the mixing. Okay, and then in my Zoom, so this is particularly not exactly related to audio settings, but it's somewhat related. In Zoom, this is the reason why you have a Zoom tab inside the Ecamm preference is because Ecamm actually, do you guys can see it? When I zoom in, you guys see it zoomed in, right? I think I checked out. Okay, you do. Okay, good. So you can see, I hope I'm still in capture mode. Yes. So you can see the Zoom tab in here because Zoom, the application, is built inside of Ecamm Live. So the software Ecamm Live has a Zoom component, and that's why it's called Ecamm for Zoom. Specifically, previously it was not, but now it is. Since I don't know a year ago, since I started using Ecamm, they have the Zoom application integrated inside of the Ecamm app itself. So in here, you can there's a lot of Zoom settings, but the one thing that I want to call out is I want to make sure that I have manual audio mode selected. This one, I have that selected because I want to be able to control everything inside of the I want to be able to control all my audio settings inside of the Zoom portion of the Ecamm window. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the Ecamm window that you're seeing right now with all my windows here. One of the windows is a Zoom window. This guy right here. So I'm going to put that hopefully to a different screen. Can I do that? Okay. So this is one of the Ecamm windows, and it's called Zoom. So when I go into a meeting, this is what will pop up. And in here is where you can go into the same, just like your Zoom app, go to your audio settings. And this is what it means when I say you want your Zoom to have manual audio mode turned on, is when you want to be able to control all the settings yourself. Otherwise, if you don't have the box checked, if you don't have this box checked, it will be controlled by Ecamm, and they will always have the routing set up Ecamm wants it to be. It's simple. Some people don't want to have to deal with it, but I want to, because I want to have manual control. So when you're in here, you get to choose anything you want. Like, for instance, turn your original sound for musicians. And here's the one thing that I love. When you have original sound for musicians turn on, and we all know this, if you come in through the Zoom app, you know that it's not sticky. Once you turn on original sound for musicians, when you go to the next meeting, your original sound is turned off again. Inside Zoom, inside Ecamm, when you use Zoom and choose it to turn original sound for musicians on, it stays on all the time. So I don't have to change it. So when I go to this meeting window up here, on here, it actually shows that it's on all the time. So the reason why I want to do this is I want to be able to route my audio myself, because if you go into audio settings, if you have Ecamm does all the routing for you, all these you can't change. It won't take any effect, like what microphone to use, because Ecamm is trying to do the mixing itself, and so it won't let you control it. The good thing is, if you don't know what you're doing, it's probably good to have Ecamm does it that way for you. But if you want flexibility, I want to be able to use my RØDECaster to control you guys' voice on my RØDECaster. Then I want to make sure that that option is checked. The manual audio mode is checked. Let me take a sip of water. Okay, so does it all make sense? I mean, after like struggling for 2 weeks trying to see how different people use theirs, does any of that bring any question or doubt of why I set it up that way for you guys? Everything makes sense?
I think most people would give you a
Well, let me see. I don't know how
out.
many people actually. Glenn is an Ecamm user. Reggie's not. Well, Dan, are you an Ecamm user? Do you use Ecamm?
No, I don't.
Okay. So,
but I'm interested in learning about it, so this is good for me.
Okay, cool. And then I think next week, when we get into next week, I would like to either take like summary, like what I learned throughout discussions for the past 3 weeks, and then have you guys, or at least me, I would kind of spell out what are the things. One of them is, what I learned from Maestro's hack, and with Matthew's help. So one of the learnings that I picked up from the last few weeks, and also maybe if you're an Ecamm user, if you have any tips you want to share, we'll do that as well.
Hey, John. Maestro is in the room if you want to admit him onto the screen.
Oh, he's in there. Okay, I see him now. Sorry.
Him being the Ecamm power user with
there
the,
you
super
go.
recording
Maestro.
setup. Yes.
So Maestro, any it's different from how you set it up? Is it like, what are the difference? It's definitely very different. Your microphone and all that is very different. About system audio, like when you were, I don't know when you came in, sorry, but so I wasn't sure how much of what you saw in my setup that were there anything that you're like, I
just came in.
Okay.
But like you said, I just use it a little differently. I just wanted to hack it.
Yeah.
But what you did, I think, is pretty good.
Because I think your usage is mainly for recording your session, your gameplay for post. You're not live streaming most of the time. You're using it as a multi-track audio recording inside of Ecamm. so that you have the flexibility of not having to sync your audio to your video. It's already synced. You just go in there and have the ability to control all those tracks.
Actually, my usage is more multifunctional
As
to
in?
be able to do the recording and the live streaming, and not just for gameplay. The main reason why I wanted to get Ecamm was because I wanted to record just any kind of video, YouTube video, tutorial video, a demonstration, anything like that. So
you don't change your setup. You pretty much keep your setup then. Okay.
Correct.
So do you use Zoom in Ecamm? Do you use Zoom much? You don't. Okay.
No, not with Ecamm.
Okay. So I use Zoom exclusively for the 2 shows that I do. That is what I use. Is I want to make sure that my guests can be easily added to the show as a camera, so that we can do layout such as this. This is a quick layout. Just click. If I hold on Shift and click on so I'm going to start with this. So if I'm going to do this first. So demo, you guys can see this, right? So what I do with this layout is, this is essentially my live switching. And I can do, moving you guys up there. I can do this. If I want to start with just myself, I click on this here, right here. And if I want to add Matthew to it, I hold down the Shift key and then I click Matthew. Now we have 2 up. I click 3 up, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 of us up here. So this is my live switching. I do it quickly. I don't know if it's a bug, the one that I shared with you guys last week. If somebody would have left right now, that white box that's surrounding that person, it's no longer active, which means I can't add it. Now, if I want to add the 9th person in there, even though there's nobody on this slot yet on camera H, there's nobody there, I can unclick it or unclick that box. It will take that out. It will only do up to 9 boxes. So you can't click any more to have 9 boxes in there. So this is my live switching that I can do. But I could also do setup where I've already preset earlier and add people there. So if I know that there's 7 of you here, I have a preset set so that I can have camera A through G, which is 7, and then lay it out this way that I like. Okay, we have a question coming on. This is a question. Easily adding guests to camera. I feel like that is relative to what you feel is actually easy. What does that mean? Easily adding guests to camera. Oh, I see. So I think this is probably what he was referencing. It's still a lot of work. Like if you need to assign somebody to camera, I can see nodding there by Maestro. Not to my brain. I mean, because it's kind of fun for me. But what I guess, let's I'm gonna switch back to audio. Talking about audio. Remember for the first week, we talk about switching. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get out of this my demo mode. Still seems like too much work. Yeah. Now, yes, that's why if you use for live stream, yes, that'll be a lot of work. But I think for my situation, it's a little bit more complicated because I don't know who's going to show up. If you have a weekly recording where you're going to have the same 2 guests, it will be cool to be able to assign a camera to that guest and with their name supers already done. So you can then do a lot of preset. Then you just do, okay, 3 of us up on screen at the same time and their names will be there. So you can pre-lay them out. All you need to do is, I always remember Matthew is camera A. So when he comes on, I assign him to camera A, and then I know Derek is camera B. I assign Derek to camera B. And all your show setup and display and layout can be preset. And once you assign that person to that camera, if you keep using Matthew as camera A, or camera A for Matthew and B for Derek, you will always have the same layout. And now I'm curious, Maestro, oh no, you said you don't really bring guests on, right? Yeah, you don't?
Correct.
Okay.
No,
all right.
I don't. That's
Okay.
correct.
So what is then, if you don't bring guests on, what are the parts that could be challenge? I mean, my show, yes, because I have to bring a lot of people up, and sometimes people switch around, people leave, and other people come in. But wouldn't if your setup, your cameras are always the same, would it still be confusing to be switching live, or are you only feeling my pain, not so much for yourself?
I'm feeling the pain of average users, to be honest. I think that Ecamm is better for producers.
Yes, no, I do agree.
You're a producer.
Yeah.
Most people are not producers.
Yes.
So that's the reason why last week I was saying Ecamm is good for those situations, but the StreamYards and the restreams and everything else is probably easier.
Yes, no doubt about it. I think that is, I think you frame it exactly right. If you want to be a live show producer, then Ecamm has lots of flexibility for you. But if you just want to be like a podcast host, and you don't want to have to think about and deal with all that setup and all that, there will be other services that would be easier to start. There will be a time, especially with my producer brain thinking, there will be a time, there might be a time if you want to do more, that you might find some of the software as usual that is easier to get started might not be as flexible, because you can't have any old layout. And the benefit to an Ecamm setup is you can literally do anything that you want to layout wise, and be able to do that, but you still need to be able to handle doing it.
It's like the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna be that guy that don't agree with it's only for people who want to do producing. I would say also, somebody who doesn't want to edit, right? That wants to do his or her editing all at once in one sentence, not even per se the live show stuff. Somebody who wants to just edit, have the multi cameras and just want to edit, knows what they're tinkering with, want to make it easy because they got a Mac and want to make everything easy. I'll say it's for those people too, because you cannot do all those things on stream. You cannot do all those things on a StreamYard and get the same outcome that you would want if you're using Ecamm. That's from when I used to use Ecamm. I was using it for live stream. I was using it more or less for the recording aspect, and it made life easy for me, and not having to go buy a ATEM switcher or any of those switchers. I could still use Ecamm and come up with that same outcome, if that makes sense.
But it's not for everyone, for sure, especially if you're new to this, and if you want to learn it. Like I force myself to learn it because it's fun for me, it intrigues me, and I enjoy doing all the producing part of it and creating layout and all that. So if it's not something for you, then Ecamm, if it overwhelms you, then it may not be something that you want to use. But I want to, since Charles is now here, Charles, I'm curious, what would your usage be? Well, I know why you started using Ecamm for your meetings, but what would be the situation where you would want to add and assign people to?
So, I mean, I would like to content repurposing would be one. Oftentimes when I'm in meetings, I'm able to bring people up and spot, normally I do this in Zoom just because it's a lot easier. They light up when they start talking, and I can just quickly click the three dots and co-spotlight them, and it's up and down. It's It's a lot easier, a lot less moving pieces, and I can see it right on my teleprompter, so I don't have to look away from the camera as I'm doing it. Trying to do all that in Ecamm, I'm going to have to look away from it. So I'm not going to be looking into the camera. It's going to distract me. I may miss something. And
which I do.
I
all
would
the
like
time.
to use it. Yeah.
Miss things.
So, you know, in these calls, I mean, the smallest call I'm in is usually 25, 30 people. You know, I've got a call Thursday. We've already got over 300 registrations for it. We usually have a pretty high turnout from the registrations. So, you know, it's hard to even think about all that extra complication when you're already trying to manage that many people in a live Zoom call.
So you're really only
and when you're dealing with multiple pages of participants,
yes,
you know, even putting 25 to a page or 40 to a page, typically I'm looking at least 3 different pages of participants.
So you're talking about which you typically wouldn't be unless you're like doing an event or something and like a and you're sending this out as a so you have an assigned speakers, but it's not something that you would want to be able to do yourself, especially if you're the presenter.
Yeah, I'd have to have a
like somebody, a producer doing it for you.
Here was my thought, and I know that you've talked very lightly about this, but at some point you're going to retire, and I'm just going to hire you as my producer.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm just going to tag you along. I'm going to say, John, this is my schedule for this week. I just need you to show up, produce from your side, and you can do it from your house.
I'm going to put on my resume.
There you go. I'm just like,
see,
because you know, and that's the thing. I mean, you would have to have someone. You know, you say you find a producer. Well, that's a lot more loaded than what you think, because they need to fully understand Ecamm.
Yes,
they need to understand all the platforms and tools
and also
that
know
you utilize.
as a
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Know the brand. Know the person. Know when to pull people up and put them down, and be able to quickly kind of do this without me having to worry about it.
Yeah.
And because that's the thing. I mean, you know, when I say a meeting of 300 people, that's live people.
Yeah.
There's still another 100-something note takers in there. You know, I mean, because everybody brings in their AI note takers with them.
Yeah.
So we usually have 100 or so of those in there. I mean, and when you're trying to sort through, and in Zoom, it's not as big of a deal because you can put 40 up. In Ecamm, I mean, that's a whole screen. You're going to have to put a whole screen up just dedicated to participants in that Zoom, and then try to assign them to a camera, quickly find them to put them on a camera.
Hey,
and so
Charles,
that's, yeah.
Can I come on Thursday?
Can you come on Thursday? Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to register? You want like 301 participants?
Yeah. So, I mean, but we have...
I want to take some notes.
Well, and so it's like, you know, and we typically just do a regular Zoom call because it's it's too much to try to produce.
Yes, and especially for, I don't know, typically people do have a producer doing things like that is when they have a like number one, maybe like a broadcast, so going out to people watching, or if they're all internal Zoom guests, then it is you'll hit certain limitations there. So if it is something that you do regularly, I don't know, other than the fact that you can pull your content that you want to share up easily and beautifully, I don't know if you need to go beyond that for the purpose of how you're using, I think.
Yeah, well, and see, right now we have 11 speakers, including myself.
Uh-huh. Do you already know? But you know those speakers already.
We do, but we have 11 of them, and some of them are going to sit kind of in the background for a while. Some of them will come up later. 12. We just had another one accept. So, you know, and that's just, I mean, And we do live stream these. Unfortunately, we live stream them straight from Zoom.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
But the live stream is just not. We want a better quality because that turns into marketing for us.
I think I know what you're talking about now. You understand the potential of using Ecamm for all that within the meeting. However, as a solo presenter / producer, it's just too overwhelming to have a room of over 300 people and then 12 guests. And how do you do that? It is too much. It's even too much for me. There's nothing to lose for me here because this is learning, right? I'm doing it as we go along. And let's find out from Maestro. So what do you think? How do you grade me on producing my own show? Maestro.
I wanted to make a point earlier, but I'll make it small. I was noticing how long it was taking for you to transition, and I think Glenn was on there, and then I'm gonna call Derek. Derek was on there, and everybody was just on there. I'm like, okay, when is he gonna get to the person who's talking? Or I couldn't do that. That's just doing too much.
It is still too much, but I think part of that it's for me. It's because I want to force myself to learning this for the potential of what you just heard from Charles. The potential of hiring me as a producer when I retire.
Wow. But I think Ecamm could solve this problem. And here's what I would really like to see them do. They have one active speaker camera right now.
Yes.
They need more of those.
Two active cameras.
They need more.
Like how do you?
They need 9.
So instead of using just placeholder camera, you're using active speaker placeholders. You can active speaker A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Because if I'm running a large Zoom call, normally what we do is we make it to where nobody can unmute. We mute the entire room, nobody can unmute, and then we set everybody that's speaking to co-host, and they can unmute themselves, which is fine. They're speakers. They're not going to speak out of turn. If they do speak, it's for purpose. We just don't want anybody in the audience to start screaming at their kid or dog and that pop up. So that's why we mute everybody in the very beginning. We don't have to worry about any distractions audio-wise. And so if we had the ability to put 9 active speakers up, you could fill the entire grid with just active speakers. So you'd still have some that would be swapping out, and that's fine.
So will you have more? So let's say if you have like a 9 up, is what you're talking about.
You could have 16 people.
And 16 speakers, but 9 up. Okay,
9 up.
Then I see the value of it. And if
it'd be great. And I mean, if we have a session that only has 2, I could switch to 2 active speaker cameras. I could put a 2 up. Or if we're doing a little bit bigger round. We're not doing a 1-to-1. We're doing a small round table, 4 people. I can do a 4 up, have 4 active speaker cameras, and not have to worry about who's assigned to who, because it's only going to, maybe I assign myself and I'm the one hosting. I make sure I'm always in the upper left. But, and then I could just keep expanding, but just keep adding active speakers. So as other co-hosts unmute and start to talk, they just pop in. And you could do up to 16 or more speakers that way.
And since there's already that feature where you can check so that you don't repeat people who are speaking, then it just, one person speaking, it's sticking, and then the second person speaking, it's there, and then while the third person comes in, it will replace this person.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if they could put more active cameras in. I could see it benefiting a lot more companies, because a lot of us do small roundtables, where there's 2, 3, 4 guests, but we're always switching stuff around. It's always last minute cancellations, last minute, yes, I'll come, because we're all running our own businesses, but then we collaborate on a lot of things as well. So our schedules are all over the place. So,
Before we go there, though, what about the audio? Can I get my audio wish first?
Yes.
Can I get more?
Oh, you
more
you want
tracks?
multiple?
More tracks,
You want
yeah.
more tracks,
Yes, I don't have to hack
more
it.
audio tracks. Yeah. Yes. Last week we talked about that, which in essentially in the sound level, if I were to send this to Ken and Glenn, this portion of it. So we're talking about this part right here. You can keep clicking the plus to have multiple tracks, at least to the point where your computer can handle. Let's say if it detects that your computer can handle like 2 additional tracks, it will only give you 2 additional tracks. So that way you can have, especially with the RØDECaster usage, you can assign each input from your RØDECaster. So how many RØDECaster you can have? RØDECaster 1 can have 2 USB 1, and then USB 1 can have USB chat as well, and then you will have USB USB
Either
2.
way,
So you have
would
3.
but if
Oh,
you
but-
use
but if it
the
is- if-
loop back and multi-track, you connected those two together, you can have however many loop back be able to give you.
Okay, so you're choosing. Are you able to do? Yeah, you can do a virtual channel. You can click add audio input and then pick a virtual channel from your Mac too. Can you do that now? I don't want to try it because it's gonna. I'll try it anyway. I'm looking at it right now. So this is just virtual. So you can do however many, and even if in this case, right, if I can do multiple, and if I can do multi-track, this is the multi-track one. I put that little this little icon here. It shows multi-track. So if I want to, I can set multi-track recording for Ecamm by just keep clicking on it, and this one I can just set it to my mic. For the first audio input, second input, I can just set it to my guest, and then third audio input, my music, sound effects or whatever, and then that would allow me to then break those multi-track recording out into Ecamm's recording. Okay, that's your dream feature. Have you ever submitted your requests to the group? You have? Okay. All right, we need more people.
John, quick question on that.
Yes, me.
Can't you get that on the ISO recordings when you enable ISO recordings?
In Zoom, yes.
No, in Ecamm. I thought you could enable ISO recordings.
Video? ISO, you can do ISO video, and then in Zoom, you can do audio.
Okay, so the question I was asking was, wouldn't that give you the multi-track function also if you do ISO recordings in?
No.
No? Okay.
That's the limitation of Ecamm. That I have a problem with it is the ISO recordings only come from the actual cameras.
Yes. So that's the audio, yeah. I mean, the video, if you have the video track, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the confusing part most people don't understand, because it confused me for a long time. And I'm like, why would they do that? Why would they connect the audio track isolation with the actual physical cameras?
Yeah, because most people, I guess you want to link, then it's already embedded. So your ISO video already have the audio from that source. So because then in recording, in your editing, you have, okay, I'm gonna pull up myself. I'm gonna pull up who's here? Reggie's gone. Now I just click this and now reassign. So we'll come back to this one. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish your audio dream feature.
Well, I was just basically saying, for people who don't know, so you get you can record up to 4 cameras, right? In Ecamm, is that correct?
Let me check. I don't know. I don't record my. I think so. Yes, I'm gonna go to it. This one, right? Oh, darn it! I have to do live demo so you can see it. There you go. So you can select up to 4. Yes, 4 cameras, and then you can choose which audio to be linked to that particular camera.
But the problem is if you are a solo content creator and you only have one camera, but you want multiple audio sources to be recorded, that's where the issue happens.
Because you can do record ISO. But yeah, like you said, the limitation is it's only allowing you to record from those two audio inputs and movie sound effects, Zoom guests, and maybe the additional one that you use for system audio. That because that is their mixer, and that's why it's a very specific needs for your user. It's the first time for me, not that it's not valid, it's really good. And I think functionality wise, it's if it's possible to have multiple audio recordings, I think it will be very powerful, especially if, well, I would like, it saves the time of recording multi-track on your RØDECaster and then having to bring the audio in and sync audio to everything. So I see the point. For my live usage, it's not as relevant. Oh my gosh, I need to get this out. But for people who does post-production, it will be very helpful. All right. I was going to talk about something. Oh, yes. When I was talking about adding people to your live switching. So when we do live switching, like not this one, live switching, this one, because you also know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 monitors for the production. It will be fun to see my production one of these days. Maybe next week I'll show that to you. You have 3. I have 5 monitors going on, and actually one of my vertical monitors is essentially having 3. So so this is the part that I would like for us to be able to do, is to have, earlier when we talk about, when Charles shared the fact that he would like to have more than one active speakers. I don't know whether or not that functionality is possible, because the active speaker is really coming from Zoom. So Zoom has a feed called active speaker. And so to have multiple, I don't know if it's possible. However, I would like to have the option to choose have an automated, if you just add people onto the screen like this, right? If I want more than, now we only have 9. I wonder if we can get more now that we can have more people joining. I can do more and have an auto.
John, it's 10, or it's 11 in your, no, it's 10 in my world, 9 in your world.
It's 10 what? 10? Oh yeah. Like what do you mean? Like this?
It means the time.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I was still counting the layouts. No, I have 8 layouts. No, yes. Okay, all right. So we're hitting the 9 o'clock hour, and I'm going to finish my thought and then we'll move over to sound check. So if you're watching this and if you want to follow along with our next conversation, which we're going to go into more of this layout. So I can maybe talk about that layout in sound check, because it's not as directly related to RØDECaster. So hopefully my setup is something that it's not, once I go through it, it's not as complicated. I think after talking through Maestro's setup, suddenly my setup is like nothing. So the reason why I have those setups is to have the flexibility of being able to do live switching and also do my manual control of my guests on Zoom. And also, if I want to, I can connect my phone to a app like Clubhouse or any other app. I can have a conversation with them, and that is being controlled by a different fader. And also, any audio that I wanted to play from the browser or from my music app, I can have manual control and assign a physical fader to the RØDECaster the way I want it, unlike some of the easy, simple setup that was suggested by Daniel, where you have to change the audio input on your system to switch to if you want to play video and speak at the same time, because otherwise you're just gonna play the video and you can't speak, swap it out so that you can speak. And then when you speak, you can't play the video. I don't want that limitation. All right. Okay. We're gonna continue our conversation now. Maybe we'll do more of the layout talk and talk a little bit more and the nitty-gritty of the visual part inside of Ecamm over on Soundcheck. We'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.